you have a couple key books.
Yeah.
One of them is a Hulk 181,
Yep.
9.8.
9.8 with white pages.
White pages.
Yep.
And the other one is Amazing Fantasy 15,
Yep.
3.5,
Yep.
both graded. Like I said, those are the books I've
and
shown.
many more.
And many more. Hey everyone, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. Today is episode 93 of the brand new coffee show. And as you can see, I'm not alone. I got my good friend Bob. Wait a minute. That's not Bob. I got my good friend Ryan here with me. Ryan, how are you?
I'm great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. If you're not familiar with Ryan, he has a channel called DadBodShenanigans where he pretty much covers toys.
Toys and Funko Pops, mystery boxes, just all kinds of adult kid stuff.
Adult kids. So he used to do comics, but not as much anymore.
Yeah, we still do some comics, but yeah.
But you are a comic collector. You have some pretty big books in your collection.
Yes, I'm a huge comic book collector. I love comics. Big part of my life. My whole house is comic books. There's not a room you can go into that doesn't have something comic related into it.
Yeah. Now, as you can see, this is not Bob. Bob, unfortunately, is under the weather. So I had to call in some favors, and Ryan agreed to show up and film this coffee episode. Hopefully, Bob will be back next week because nobody can replace Bob.
No.
You're going to give it a shot, but you got a really uphill battle to go.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best.
Okay, very cool. But we always start off with the coffee that we're drinking today. And today we're drinking the coffee from Mocha Express, the official coffee shop of Comics with Bueller. And today we are drinking cold brew coffee. Now this, I got a big, the big 32 ounce, and I divided it up so you could have some as well.
You pour this yourself?
I did, but I didn't taste it. I didn't do anything to it. It's all official. Go ahead.
If I pass out.
Come on, man. It's good. It's strong.
What does Bob say? That's tasty.
It is tasty. Let me taste mine. Oh.
That's pretty good. You know, I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but that's actually really good.
See, I didn't know if you were or not. Me and you went to Mocha Express together.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember you getting a coffee, to be honest.
That was probably the last time I had coffee, and that was months ago.
Yeah, so that was quite a while ago. But this is a nice cold brew, and it's hot outside. It's been like in the 90s last
it's
few days.
refreshing for sure.
Yeah,
it's
so
good.
it'll get you going, man. You'll be excited.
Be all jacked up by the time this is over.
That's kind of the deal.
Yeah.
Sounds like you watched some of
I
my
have.
videos.
I've seen a couple of your shows before.
Awesome. Let me really quick say thank you to some of our friends and sponsors of the show. We have, of course, Comic Pro Line. We have Blackbox Comics and also Scout Comics. If you want to go to Blackbox Comics, enter the code Bueller10 at checkout. You can save 10%. And if you go to Scout Comics, you can enter the code Bueller at checkout, and you save 10% on your full purchase. Right now, Comic Pro Line, we have the information down below. Go check them out. If you want to get a hold of my buddy Tony, he's the U.S. sales rep. He's the one to talk to if you're looking to buy a whole bunch of stuff. He will make sure to take care of you because Comic Pro Line, those are the best, man.
Yeah,
actually
they're
showed
good.
Ryan a little bit before we started. He was like, oh, yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah, no, they're actually quite a bit thicker than the other boards that I've used before. And they're actually, as far as keeping your books safe and stuff like that, I can definitely see these lasting a lot longer. And with me, like, having a lot of kids in the house, they constantly knocking stuff over. So, like, having these, you know, with your comics protected by these, I can definitely see them lasting a lot longer if they get tipped over or stepped on or what have you. Yeah,
so basically what I did, I took a regular backing board that we're all used to and compared it to the 28-point Comic Pro board that they put out. And basically the 28-point board is almost the strength of two regular boards, but at same cost. And you get a 100-pack as well, and that's what these are. And just by feeling them, I handed those to him like that, and I said, can you tell a difference? He's like, yeah, I can tell a difference right
instantly
away.
You can tell. This one just definitely feels way thicker. It's not as flimsy for sure. It even seems like it has a little bit more coating to it.
Yeah. Well, you can have those.
Oh, sweet, man. Well, I don't really need this one, but I'll take the nice new
there
one.
There you go. We'll get rid of that one right there. Forget that one.
Sweet.
All right. So let me go ahead and do a quick rundown of the show, what we have going on today. Of course, we have our first five brought to you by Comic Pro Line. And then we will have Robbie's Pick of the Week. That's from Pop Culture Philosophers. And then we have our topic, which is what resources or tips do you use for collecting? Should be interesting. Then we will have our final five, also brought to you by Comic Pro Line. And then, of course, we have our giveaways. We'll do our giveaway winners from last week, and we'll announce our new giveaway for this week. And then we'll do our closing. But let's go ahead and start off with our first five. And I will go first with my first five comics.
Okay.
And this one right here is Creeper number 6 from DC. Look at that old goodness right there.
Oh, wow. Look
You
at
like that? And I have a newer book, Batman 76. I just like this variant, so I wanted to show that off. And then I got to show some good old Punishers. Remember this one?
I love Punisher.
Yep. Punisher War Journal number 7 and Punisher War Journal number 6. I know you remember.
Yeah, huge Wolverine fan.
Yeah, you remember those, right?
Yeah.
These are going to be worth tons of money. Right? When they came out?
Yeah. They're probably like on the top 10 at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be interesting. But I remember when those came out, they're like $1 or $3 books right now. Unfortunately, they didn't last. And I got to show this, Punisher number 10, for Bob, because it's got Daredevil on there, and he's a big Daredevil fan, so I figure why not show some Daredevil love on my Punisher books, which the Punisher is actually my favorite character. And if you see right there, I've got the first Punisher. You remember that book, don't you?
Yeah. That one has the stamp cut out, though.
It's got a few things cut out. I thought it was just the stamp, but apparently it's some more stuff.
Half the story.
Yeah. Apparently somebody mailed away for the Army Man as well. What are you going to do?
X-ray specs, remember that?
Exactly.
Yeah, I love those old ads.
Oh, well. All right, those are my first 5. You want to go ahead and go?
Yeah. So I just grabbed some books that I enjoyed reading and stuff like that. Magic Order was one of my favorites when I read, and this is my favorite cover of that series. I got She-Hulk number 1, and what's great about this one is that she's holding her first appearance. I always love when they do little things like that, little tie-ins and what have you. Next up is Incredible Hulk. Obviously, first appearance of Wolverine. This book is special to me because it's one of the first books I bought as an investment, getting back into comics. So this one will always have a special place in my heart.
That's a facsimile.
That is. I'm sorry. That's a reprint. I did not bring
Where did you get that from?
What? Oh, I don't know. Where did I get? Oh yeah, Tifa.
I thought you got that out of the Bueller box.
No, I have like 100 of these things.
Okay, never mind.
I have a few Bueller boxes to open up on the channel.
Know you do. Come on, man. You're come on.
This one is an old 90s book, right? X-Force. So what's great about these being in the polybags, these came with trading cards, and there's kind of a ongoing discussion if Deadpool's first appearance is on one of the trading cards that's in these polybags. So yeah.
Is that a Deadpool one?
I don't actually know. I have the whole set,
Yeah.
not in the comics, but I also have a bunch of these that I haven't opened. And usually the cards are backwards, so they're hard to see.
I have the Deadpool one, and I have it autographed by Rob Liefeld.
Well, you win again.
Even though he blocked me on social media. So anyway.
That's like, you see The Big Bang Theory? You've never seen The Big Bang Theory?
Is that a new show?
Are you serious? Shut up. They did a whole thing where Sheldon's always got, he's got, what are those called? Where they can't go see people. You have to stay within like 500 feet of someone. Restraining orders, yes. Yeah. And he has them all framed. Well, that's what you should do. You should have it framed.
It hasn't gone that far yet. It was just,
it should.
He just blocked on Instagram. Come on.
And then Black Hammer. I'm sure you guys know about Black Hammer. Another favorite series of mine that I really enjoyed reading. Great universe and stuff like that. So yeah, there's.
Now you were really into that book.
I absolutely adore this book. I made some decent money off this book as well. Yeah.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, man. Those are some great first 5 books.
Thanks.
And I think you might even have an original of one of those facsimiles in there. I might be wrong.
I do.
But there's one right behind you as well there. So
there's an original one. Nice.
So anyway, very cool books. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Let's go ahead and jump to Robbie's Pick of the Week.
Hey everybody, I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups from Pop Culture Philosophers. This is a Batmobile. This is a Batmobile. And this is a Batmobile. Batmobiles for everybody. Anyway, my pick of the week is...
We Only Find Them When They're Dead, number 1 by Boom Studios and Al Ewing. This is a brand new ongoing series, I believe. This is Robbie's Pick of the Week. He knocked it out of the park yet again. For one, Boom Studios is really putting out some great product. Really, every single number 1 issue, really except for Wind, I wasn't too favorable on that one. But this one, excellent title. Do me a favor, go check out Pop Culture Philosophers for Robbie's review. He does the best reviews on YouTube. Are you familiar with his channel?
I haven't actually seen his channel.
You gotta check it out. Seriously, he does a video on Tuesday night because he reads all the books. He's a manager at a comic shop, so he has access to all the books. He reads literally 50 to 60 books on that Tuesday, and he does like a 1 hour non-stop review of every book he read.
That's nuts.
And this is his pick of the week, and like I said, he knocked it out of the park again. So go check out his channel, Pop Culture Philosophers, Robbie's pick of the week. So let's go ahead and go to our topic. Our topic this week is brought to you by Blackbox Comics, and our topic is, what resources or tips do you use for collecting comics? And we're going to rely on Ryan here because, like I said, he used to collect comics a lot, but he's also in the Funko land right now, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of crossover.
There's a ton of crossover. It's almost identical as far as the collecting is concerned.
Yeah, so I mean, they even have their own plastic boxes and all that
They
stuff.
do.
And
Yeah, they grade them and everything.
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah.
But I got the first comment here, so I'm going to go first. This first one is from Bashiri Jones. It says, focus on first issues, focus on companies other than DC and Marvel. Even if the cover art is cool, if the interior art is not equal or even better, I will not buy it. Look for unique and novel stories, not the same old comic book fare. Have a price limit. I don't buy comics over a certain amount, and each month I have a certain amount of money that is for comic book buying. And if you don't feel like you absolutely regret not buying the comic, then don't buy it. So he had a lot of different things that he covered.
Yeah, it's kind of packed.
Yeah, but the main thing I want to focus on is budgeting. And that's where sometimes you can get out of hand, to be totally honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, one thing I did, and I don't know if I remember telling you this, but like last year when I was going to the comic shop, I started keeping a running tally of how much money I was spending for the month. Do you remember this?
I don't remember that, but I've done the same thing, and
Okay.
it's a nightmare.
It was
Once you realize
crazy.
how much you're spending,
Yeah.
that's why I had to back off.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't, this is not sustainable.
Yeah, and it was like, it wasn't like just new issues. It was just like I would go there like 3 or 4 times a week, just flip through the 50-cent boxes or dollars or whatever.
Well, it's only 50 cents.
Yeah, exactly. And then I added it up. And then I looked at the total at the end of the month, and I could have paid my rent.
Yeah.
You know, and that's pretty much what it is.
Yep. It's no difference than getting coffee every day.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different
If we
because
add up how much
I don't-
coffee you're getting every day at the end of the month.
I don't have to pay for this coffee. I get my coffee for free.
Yeah.
So it works out a lot
We're
better.
not all Bueller.
There you go. If you go there, make sure you order the Bueller, by the way.
Okay.
But seriously, though, the budget can get out of hand.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people get burnt from that. So I think that is a very necessary goal. I mean, for one, don't overspend on books. A lot of people will just buy it. They'll knee-jerk reaction, see it, I got to have it, and they end up paying more than what they should have paid for the book.
Not doing the research, not doing the due diligence, and making sure the book is actually worth what you're paying.
Exactly.
For one, yeah. I mean, there's things to be said for really enjoying the comic itself and the characters, and maybe you spend a little bit more because you've been looking for that issue or something like that.
Yeah.
But to overspend every week in and out, right? It's just not sustainable.
That's honestly, I was doing that. I was every week or every month for a nice long period of time. I was spending way more than I should have been doing, and I wasn't. I didn't have any way to recoup any of that money at the time. And there's a difference when you can recoup the money. So if you're spending a lot and you have a way to get that money back because of what you're spending, that's a whole nother story. But a lot of people have not set that up yet.
Yeah.
And they're not to that point in their collection. They say they want to. Oh yeah, I'm going to sell this and stuff, and then
they forget about it.
They
or
forget
they
about it
because they
'cause
don't want to lose it because
yeah.
they think it's might going to go up in value more.
yeah, and there's new books every week.
Yes, lots of new books
Every week there's new books, so you forget, like you
Yes.
said, you forget about what you had in your collection, and you kind of move on. And then a month or two later, it's like, oh yeah,
I would totally go through my collection and be like, oh, I forgot I even had this.
Yeah.
Right? And I was spending upwards of $200 to $300 a week
Yes.
on comic books.
Yeah.
You know, you'd see me at the shop and I'd come out with a stack, right? And
Yeah.
I ended up selling, you know, I did a whole year or maybe a year and a half of just buying and selling on eBay and stuff like that. And just to try to recoup some
Yeah.
of the money, I would read the book and just try to, you know, sell it on eBay to recoup for some of the money. But the time it takes to do that alone is just insane.
yeah. I think that I don't personally sell single issues on eBay, and it's not really been my thing. I think I've sold like one book, but obviously I've sold my boxes, and I've sold thousands and thousands of books through that way. And I've done a few auctions here and there. But really, if you don't have a way to recoup the money you're putting out, really set a budget that you can afford. I think that's one of the main things with comics is setting a budget, because it's really easy to get carried away and to buy that extra copy of the same book, or to buy 20 copies of the book just to get that one cover to crush. Yeah. I don't know. Some people do that type of thing, right?
No, all the time. I actually know people that have gone into credit card debt because of comic books. Trying to buy every single issue.
Credit cards and comics don't go together.
Oh man, yeah. So definitely setting a budget is key. I started doing that, and I only buy some of the older books now, just because of that, and just try to treat myself instead of making sure I have to have it.
Treat yourself. I like that.
Myself,
There you go. All right. Well, guess what, man? You're up next. This is your very first comment from Ed Blackwell. You are up, Ryan.
Ed Blackwell.
You take your glasses off to read?
Yeah, I can't see.
That's awesome. It's the opposite of Bob.
Yeah, exactly. I can see close up and not far away. As I get older, I've had to think about what my kids are going to do with all my stuff after I'm gone. So to make things a little easier for them, I've started to take a small piece of paper and write down information about the issue. For example, Batman 400. It's the first series that started in 1940, release date of 10/1986. I paid cover price, has an introduction by Stephen King, story by Doug, I don't even know how to say that.
Monich? Yep.
Cover by Bill. I can't say Bill's last name either.
Sinkovich?
I've heard it so many times.
I don't know
And then I have 2 copies. If there had been a key first appearance, I'd also write that down. Any first appearances or guest appearances, and if it's part of a storyline. If so, what parts, like part 2 of 4. Then I tape that paper to the back of the board with that issue. I've also been putting my 1960s issues in the top loader for additional protection.
Now,
that's a lot of work, for one. So I have a lot of comics.
Yeah.
And that I don't have enough time in the day to do. That's a lot of work.
But I like that because he takes the guesswork out for the next generation who has his books. Yes. Now, I'll give you a perfect example. I had someone just this week, actually. I was at the coffee shop. She was there, and I was talking to my buddy Damon, and she came by and she was like, "Hey, I tried to reach out to your friend and stuff." He goes, "Oh, he's right here." And she's like, "Oh, well, I have this comic book collection that I inherited," and she didn't know anything about it. Okay. And I get hit up on this stuff all the time. And I'm like, oh, well, here you go. There's some references that you can do. What Ed is doing, he's making that guesswork, what she would be in right now, really easy. She would know ahead of time why these books are special, why they might be worth some money, and which ones aren't worth money. Now, I wanted to get into this, and I think this is perfect for you because you have a kid. I have kids as well, but yours are younger. Yeah. And they're more, let's just say, they're excited about your books.
Yeah, they don't care about comics at all.
But let's just say it. I mean, you have a couple key books. Yeah. One of them is a Hulk 181, 9.8.
9.8 with white pages.
White pages. Yep. And the other one is Amazing Fantasy 15, 3.5, yep. Both graded. Like I said, those are the books I've shown.
And many more.
And many more. But those, and you've told me this, are for your son.
They're actually all for my son. All the ones that are in the safety deposit box are going to my son after I pass. And I actually have it set up with I have an executor of my estate, and everything's laid out to what's going to happen after I pass and who gets what. Same with the house and what have you. So the comics are all part of that because they are an investment.
Yeah.
And will be worth even more money, hopefully, after I pass.
Yeah, so you feel pretty good about that type of investment and the stuff you put into them and the price you paid, and they're going to pay off. And is your son aware of what they are? I mean, have you?
Yes.
Does he know what that is? I mean, right? Obviously, they're slab and they have the information on the book themselves. But is he truly aware of why that's such a big thing?
Well, that's the thing is he's not going to know the pricing no matter how much information is on the book, right? And whatever pricing you put on the book now is not going to be accurate when you pass along unless it's tomorrow, right? So that being said, it's more of educating them or whoever takes care of your estate when you're gone on how to properly sell these books or educate him when he gets older about the books, right? And that's just having it all set up correctly. So even if it's graded, yes, he'll be able to look up in a system of what that book is currently going for. But you can do that with Rockbucks too, with sold prices on eBay or some of the other apps or whatever, right? But it's all basically about educating them when they get older. Now, with my son, he's actually not going to get anything till he's 30.
Nice.
So, because when I was 20, I was an idiot. I'm still an idiot, and I'm 40.
Has it changed?
Yeah, it's changed a little bit, but not completely. So that's the big thing is, as like I talked with my family, my brother, and stuff like that, you appreciate stuff more that maybe your parents had when you get older in life and you're settled and all that kind of stuff. When I was 20, man, if my dad gave me a bunch of Action Comics #1, right, from when he was a kid, those things would have been sold for pennies on the dollar.
So this is what you're doing. Basically, you're gonna when he turns 30, that's when he gets to pay off all his debt from his 20s.
Pretty much.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, and he gets to live in a house. And so
there you go.
Yeah, but it's just I think just more educating. And you can go to this length, and it's great to have everything listed on the books. But people that don't care, I think, about the collection aren't going to really take the time to thumb through them all to begin with. They're just going to have a box, bring it into a comic shop, and be like, "What will you give it for me?"
Yeah.
So
I like what Ed said. I like that idea of doing that. And I think it's a lot more manageable if you start doing that from the beginning.
From the beginning, yeah.
Than to go back.
Yeah, a whole closet. Or
I got 30,000 books to go
like
through.
all these things I see in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I like that idea, and I do label some of my books for my videos. And when I do videos, I label stuff on the back of them.
Yeah, putting little notes on the backing board or something like that.
I just write on a permanent marker on the back cover.
There you go. Yeah, it's no different than that signature over there.
There you go. Come on, man. All right, I got the next one here. This one is from Dre Fever. He says, "Don't be afraid to try a new series. Sometimes your usual series will become stale. Switch it up a little bit. Go with your gut and pick the comics you like." I have always been a superhero guy, okay? Marvel, DC, those were my books. And up until literally within a year, my love has changed to independent books.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I
think they have much better stories.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's much better stories, and I think a lot of people miss out because they are stuck with the Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
Not to say that those are bad stories. They have some really great ones, don't get me wrong. But the independent titles, the things that you wouldn't think twice about, you end up missing. Black Hammer is a perfect example.
Yeah.
I know how much
series.
you like that one.
Yeah, and it's independent.
Yeah.
And and it was a suggestion by the owner of the LCS that I went into. Another example, I had another employee tell me to try out Saga.
Yeah.
And it is by far my favorite series of all time.
Yeah.
I love that series.
That's actually a series I haven't put time into.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's
I feel kind of bad because you only hear positive things. You only hear people say it's probably one, if not the best, independent title that there is.
Yeah.
And there's only 50, right?
50 or 51, I think.
Didn't they stop?
They stopped.
And they said they were coming
take a
back.
hiatus.
But that was like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were coming back.
Brian K. Vaughan?
Yeah.
And Fiona Staples?
Well, I have the first issue, the dollar reprint one, and the first page grabs you right away. Because it's just a close-up of her giving birth. And she has some colorful language. Yeah. It's what a great way to start a book.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid to step away from Marvel and DC because there are so many publishers right now, and honestly, they're putting out better product. Boom Studios is putting out better product. Dark Horse is putting out better stuff. They just now started putting out books this last week. Image Comics. They have so much variety, and there's so many great stories.
I buy every Image #1.
You do?
Or I was buying every Image #1 when it came out, just because of the fact that they had so much better stories.
And just for I've said this before, just the investment of a #1 independent book, that's all you need to buy. You don't need to buy any other books if you're looking for something. If it gets optioned, it's just the #1.
Usually this #1 because that's usually where most of the main characters are introduced in an independent book. Every once in a while you'll have a another character that's a fan favorite. That's a few issues.
But
down.
it's like 95% of them are just number ones that you need to get,
sure.
and every book after that's like cover price, and which is really nice. So, and I've told people that, hey, you have some advice for investing in books, and yeah, it's really easy. Buy number one independent books. If they ever get an option, it'll go up in price, and you got a new story, and you only paid a few dollars for it.
Another one I've done too on that is I check out Kickstarter, right? Independent Kickstarters, and I also when going to the conventions is I go up and down the aisles of the Artist Alley, and I'm always looking for different people that are selling their own books there as well.
Yeah, I haven't done too much Kickstarter stuff myself. I'll just be honest, I get hit up quite a bit from people doing Kickstarter stuff.
Yeah.
And I really don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
Because
if they don't have a good intro video, you have no clue what the book is about, and it's just like, well, I don't know if this is going to be any good.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, I get hit up a lot. So I mean, that's the thing. It's multiple times.
I'm sure it's really rough being you.
Yeah, it is. Come on, man. Okay, I get it. Now I got the next comment here. I'm moving on. This is from Oliver Ortiz. Says another great video that immediately helps me set up future buys. He's talking about the preview video we do on Wednesday. Many times my LCS will not have books I want, and I am forced to buy them online. These lists help me to know which ones to buy online because I am 99% sure that LCS will not have them. So let's hit on LCS, okay? Because collecting tips, your LCS can help or hurt you, okay? Depending on the guy behind the counter.
Yeah.
And I've experienced both.
I have too, on many occasions, and at multiple shops.
Yeah, and sometimes you think they're really good.
Yeah.
And then later, you find out they're not that great.
Yeah.
And then you get a little burned. And then not only do you get burned, but you have a face that goes with, what just happened.
Yeah.
That being said, for the most part, I think that my experiences with comic shop employees or owners, my current LCS, which actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think you told me to go to.
Which one's that?
Things from Another World.
Yeah.
Because you switched over there.
Yeah, I did.
And so I took the plunge, just because they have they can pretty much get what I want, and I get a better discount.
Well, that's the thing they have a lot of different books, right? So when you go in there, you're not having to fight for only 3 copies on the shelf, right? They have 20 copies on the shelf, so that's really nice. And also, like, I would have a box there.
Yeah.
And if I knew a book was coming out, I would just call them and be like, hey, can you try, if you have an extra one, can you throw one in my box? That would be great, right? And that would happen. And then if you buy so many books, right, you get a discount. And it's all tier-based. So if you buy like 5 books, it's 5%, and it just keeps going up from there. And I don't quote me on that because I don't know exactly what their tier is.
They have a set 20% now.
Is it set 20? Because I know you had to buy like 15 or 20 books to get to the 20% discount.
Yeah, no, it's a set 20% now.
But this was when I was buying $200 worth of books, so exactly. I never missed the percentage.
It's actually nice because, if you have 5 books on your pull list or if you have 100, it's a set 20%. They have a new thing to where if it's based on when you pick them up. If they're still in your box like a week later, I think the percentage goes down. But if you pick them up within the first week, you get your full 20 or 25%.
Yeah, I feel bad for LCSs that have to deal with customers that don't pick up their books. I mean, just having that much money out all the time, it's hard to pay your bills that way.
Yeah, but that comic shop, I don't know if you use them anymore. But
I do. When I'm looking for a book, I do go there because I know if they don't have it in this town anyway, it's going to be hard pressed to find it anywhere else.
Sure. The guy who's behind the counter there, he's the manager and stuff. Great
guy. Yeah, he's super nice, friendly, helps you with everything.
Absolutely. I mean,
I don't know his name, unfortunately. But
I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah.
I should know it.
But I know, like, if I see him, he's always like, hey, man, as soon as I walk in the door.
He just had a baby, too, so congratulations, my friend. But not him, but, the lady he's with and stuff. But, he will help you with anything, man. It's like, man, he goes, oh, you looking for that? I'm like, well, yeah. He goes, oh, let me see what I can do. Like, I just went in there yesterday, or the day before, and I said, hey, man, Alex Ross has all these covers coming out, these special covers of different superheroes in the books. I go, I'm not getting all those books. I don't have those titles, but I would love to get the collection of the ones with his cover. So he's like, yeah, I can make that happen. So whatever titles they are, as long as it's that, and he knows what I'm talking about, as long as it's that Alex Ross cover, he's going to pull them all for me.
Yeah, he puts a note in that big old binder that they open up. I did the same thing. I wanted all the B covers to DC series I was getting at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't want the A covers. I just liked the B covers because they were doing almost like a Titleist cover with Virgin, right?
Yep.
And I just wanted those ones. So that's all they put in my box.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice that they cater to everything.
Yeah, and they don't mark them up either.
Yes, so they do. They do with the ratios.
We preach that all the time on here. Is that if it's a hot book,
yes, it stays cover price.
They
don't care at all. Yeah. And but the ratios, they sell at ratio.
Yeah, whatever the ratio is, I just still don't understand how.
1
they
in
figure the
10
price.
is $10, and 1 in 25 is $25. That's just how they do. And,
but it's kind of nice, and that's a example of a good LCS.
Yeah. I've walked into a couple other in this city, and a brand new book, right, is already going for $50 on eBay, and you walk in, and behind the counter, it's $50, and you're like, this just came out.
Yeah.
Well, it's $50, and you're like, is that your only one? Yeah. Oh, sure. As soon as they sell it, then there's another one. Another one that goes right back up.
It's the only one on the shelf right now.
It's the only one on the shelf.
Yeah, exactly. There's a whole bunch more in the back.
There's several of those in this city.
Yeah, and there's some shops I go to, I don't even know why they're shops. I don't even know why this gentleman has a comic shop because he seems miserable owning a comic shop. And there's a few of those in the city and stuff, and I don't pay
honestly,
much
every time I go into Tfal, they all are super helpful, right? And as soon as you ask them something, they stop what they're doing, they go show you it, right? And my kid will be in there looking for something. They'll help him find toys, of course. Of course, they want me to spend my money, right? But even if I'm looking for like a trade I can't find, they always just stop what they're doing. They help you out. It's awesome.
And the nice thing is, even when other shops tell you that they are not helpful, they actually are, aren't they?
They are. I enjoy them. Yep.
Stick that a little bit. All right, Ryan, you got the next comment here. Okay. This is from Eric the Red.
Eric the Red. Just buy what you enjoy, and if it ends up being worth something, great. Sadly, YouTubers are artificially creating hype with their speculation videos and weekly picks. What? First appearance of Johnson Rod? Better grab it. People end up buying books they wouldn't normally have bought, which creates a sales wave. Demand is now higher than supply. Price goes up. Just look at what Key Collector app. This week alone, they have 39 keys of that week. 39. As Public Enemy once said, don't believe the hype. So I agree 100% about videos and apps spiking books that should not spike. I'm a big believer in do not follow the hype. If a book gets hyped via movie or TV or first appearance, and if it's not available for cover price at the LCS or wherever I go or online or wherever you shop, I pass on the book because I can always get it later. Every book has 20, 30, 50,000 print runs, right? It is not going to be hard to find. Every weekly book seems to spike hard, and then next week there's 20 more books, and guess what? That book is cover price within 2 weeks to a month. Yeah.
So before we started this video, we kind of talked about this comment a little bit before we read the comment. And I told you, say exactly what you want to say. Yeah. I have no problem with you sharing your opinions on that because I'll be honest with you, Eric is right. Yeah. Eric is 100% right. Yep. That other YouTubers, and I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat. Now, maybe not inflating price as much because that's not what I focus on, but I do focus on if I like a book, and that causes people to, I want to go try it because he said he liked it. There's
a big difference between saying, I think this might be hot, or I have read this and it's really good, you should pick it up, right? Then to, I've seen literally people say, you better go buy this book now before it explodes. And then it's flippers selling to flippers until the price is at $100. And it's just them buying books. And if you get stuck with that book, that's on you.
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck holding.
No, it'll be cover price again. Trust me.
Yeah, and I've done a ton of videos that kind of highlight stuff like that. You know, some do hold their value, some come back down, and some raise back up. But
it's definitely a wave. It's definitely a wave, and it's catch the wave when the tide's out.
Yeah, but if you get multiple YouTubers or just influencers in general talking about a certain book, and it's like on every channel. Yep. It's obviously going to affect that price. It's going to affect people's need to get that book.
It's no different than the Funkos are doing the exact same thing right now. Like, it didn't used to be like that, but I see a trend now to where everyone's hyping certain Funko Pops that are releasing, and they just spike out of the gate.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks later, you start seeing them as everyone got them in stock, and they're $1 million on eBay.
Yeah.
Then the prices just start coming right back down, and it's no difference. That's why the comics and Funkos they are across the board identical.
Yeah. Now, I always say, you see the prices that they say, like, oh, this is what it's selling for right now. I tell people, just don't pay that price. Try to find it. Go hunting for that book.
That's half the fun.
Yeah, and maybe find it in the dollar bin or something like that. Because I found books that are on lists or whatnot that are sitting in the dollar bin and maybe the people just don't know. And like you said, it's just part of the fun. Now, another thing you mentioned...
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but have you seen the shops that then say... They don't price them until you bring them up to the counter?
I won't do it.
Oh, it's insane. Yeah, price the book, and that's what I'm going to pay. Don't say, bring it up, and we're going to check what a going rate is.
I don't know if you went to that comic shop that was on McLaughlin. It was up on that second story over by Creature Comfort or something like that.
No,
it was only
I've never been there.
A few months, and that's what they were doing.
No, the one I'm speaking of is down closer into Portland.
Okay, yeah. Well, this one didn't last more than 3 months.
Yeah.
I went in there and had a stack of books, probably the counter. How much are these? I'm thinking like they're $1 books.
Yeah, because they're not priced, right?
They're not even bagged.
Yeah.
They're not even bagged or boarded. They're just loose. And he's like, oh, let me look them up. And I just looked up. The guy said, never mind.
Yeah.
I turned around and walked out. And they were closed 2 months later. Yeah. So, but he also brings up Key Collector. And I get this a lot as well. Does Key Collector inflate prices? I'll be totally honest. I don't think that that's their total intention. But just, it is what it is. People are using that as a tool. They're seeing it, on there. And it makes the price go up. Because it's there. Because I think that, and I said this before, the goal of the app is to point out keys,
That you should look out for.
Yeah, that you should look out for. Now, if they didn't do that, then what's the point of the app?
Exactly. No,
So
I get that.
If you were like, oh man, I got my key collector and it didn't tell me about this key, you would be pissed.
Yeah, especially if you have the pay service, right?
Exactly. So the goal of the app is to tell you what the keys are.
Yeah.
Now,
this got optioned, or this is going to be new, or this has a first appearance in it.
Exactly. Now, what that has done, whether intentionally or not, it does make that price go up.
It definitely does.
And that's just... I don't know if there's any way to get around it, to be honest.
No, because even like there's many YouTubers, they're just basically letting people know what's out there and what's coming up and what to look out for, right? And I don't think he's any different than that. It would be if he had 100 copies of some book and then decided to be like, oh, you better buy this book, right?
Yeah.
Then there's some shady stuff going on. But I think he's just reporting the news.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, I don't see things that are hot on there. They're like, it's hot because it's hot. It's hot because there's something behind it that's driving it hot. Now, whether it deserves... It's a key. So the term key is used pretty loosely. Whether it's a true key or whatever, that's really up to you to decide. Yeah. But, like I said, if it is a key and if it's not listed, people will be upset.
Yeah.
Because if they're paying for it, or if they're sitting there looking at the app and it doesn't have that on there, like, why isn't it on there?
Yeah.
Usually, this is a key.
Yeah, usually key is, a first appearance or cameo appearance, or something major in a storyline is going to happen. A big artist is doing the cover, something like that. Yeah. That usually is a key.
The pro tip on that, just because YouTubers are saying this or because a app is saying this, do your research. Do your own research, not just from what I say or from what other people say or from what an app says. Do your own research into it, And I think budget and research are the two main important things about collecting comics. And pro tips, if you want to use them, that's the first two things you should have going on. And that's kind of what we want to hit on that. Even though you'll hear a ton of different voices telling you to get these books, don't just take it for granted and say, oh, I'm going to get them. Do your own research. Yeah. And for one, ask yourself if it's something you want in your collection. Yeah. Just because a book is spiking, and just because it's worth some money or whatnot, or it's got something going on, if it didn't, would you even want it in your collection?
Exactly.
Is that the only reason you want it?
Because someone said it was hot.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you don't want it, or if you wouldn't buy it otherwise, then still don't buy it. Yeah. Okay?
A lot of times,
just buy the stuff you want.
Yeah, it's like, well, when I would miss out on a book, let's say, I would read the issue online, right? I would pay the $3 online, read the issue, and
digital?
Then, yeah. Well, if I can't get the book, I'm not going to pay $50 on eBay.
All right.
Right?
You're one of those.
I'm not going to spend $50 on eBay just to read a book and find out I don't like it. So
Okay.
if I buy the digital copy and read it and I go, this is really good, I definitely want the series, right? Then I'll call the LCS. I go, hey, put this on my pull list, and then start shopping for the issue I missed, right? So,
I get it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, you got one
Why
last.
Are you such a jerk?
Come on, man. We're friends.
Yeah.
We know each other. We've actually known each other longer than I've been doing the show.
Yep.
To be honest, so
that was like one of your first 10 subscribers.
there you go.
Yeah.
You
should be rewarded.
You and my mom.
Listen to you talk every week.
There you go. You got the last one. Okay?
I get the last one again.
I really want you to read this one. This is from the Night Driver.
Night Driver. My primary resource is the Wise Oracle. Oh God, I'm not reading this. My primary resource is the wise oracle and great of knowledge known as DadBodShenanigans.
That's not what it says. Read
Along
what it says.
with, hey, I'm reading the comment.
It says Bueller.
Along with his trusty, straight-shooting, and ever-keen sidekick, Bob.
There you go. So far, so good.
I also follow a number of other YouTube channels, and of course, Key Collector and Diamonds Preview, along with DC Previews.
I just really wanted you to read that. But, he mentioned some stuff that we kind of talked about, and there's a lot of good resources. Diamond Preview, if you're looking for new books that are coming out, check that out. The previews, the DC previews, because now they're not in with the preview anymore. Yeah. They're doing their own thing, so you got to do them separate. I think they're only digital, what you can find. But that previews book comes out, the comic shop's like 2 months before the books come to the shelf. So you have 2 months to do some research and to order books. Yeah, and to add them in your pull list or whatever.
I had a hard time. I used to do the previews, but I just could never decide if I wanted the book based off the previews. Yeah. I kind of like to see what some of the internal art's going to look like. Yeah. That's a big selling point for me. Anytime I look at a book, grab it off the shelf, because the covers are usually never done by the people inside. Open it up, see what the art looks on, because there's so many books with the art. Even if the story's amazing, the art is so bad I can't read it. Yeah. So that's a big thing. So
we talked about that last week on the show.
Yeah. So previews for me are just hard, but I get it. Yeah. I mean, that's the smarter way to do it. It's a resource. It is.
It helps out. But I wanted to point out some of the things that weren't mentioned in the comments, and this was surprising, because like I said, we asked what are some tips or pro tips you use to improve your collection. Mm-hmm. Nobody mentioned Overstreet Price Guide. Not one person.
No one uses it anymore.
Come on, man. Not one comment mentioned
some
Overstreet
comic shops
Price
still
Guide.
Use it to price books, but no one buys those things anymore.
I love them.
Paperweights.
The new one just came out. I have to get it. Okay. Now here's the thing. I don't just use it the price. There's a lot more stuff in Overstreet.
Yes, they tell you first appearances and different things like that.
So there's a lot of information and grading books. They have a whole tutorial about grading books and all this stuff. And a lot of people always ask me about grading books. Yeah. And this will help you grade raw books. The Overstreet Price Guide, whether you think the prices are legit or not, a lot of people say they're outdated the day it comes out. And some are, but some aren't. And I've done videos on that. Yeah. And honestly,
they're printed months and months.
Yeah.
Before they get released.
If it's not a hot book, it's pretty much right on the money, to be totally honest. And the hot books come and go.
Well, there's 30 hot books a week, so...
Exactly. But nobody mentioned the Overstreet Price Guide. And I find that extremely valuable resource. I've always enjoyed them. I look forward to the ones coming out every year. A new one comes out. And I just like flipping through them and seeing year to year, like some big books, seeing if they're going up in price through the Overstreet. Because that's kind of... When you're looking at really old books, it's a great resource for older books, Golden Age, stuff like that you wouldn't see on people's top 10 lists right now. Yeah. So it's a really great resource. And comic shops use Overstreet.
Yeah, and a lot of them do the price their books. Yeah, and I actually, when I first started collecting, I used Overstreet, and I have several of them in my closet. Yeah. And that's what I use the price books as well, before I found out about a bunch of online stuff, right? But it's a good resource. It's just I've moved on from that.
Yeah. I think that honestly, if you're a new collector, it's something you should get. I think it should be
I agree. On your there's so much information in it. And it's not just the books pricing. Like you said, there's the grading thing. They have articles in there. Yes. There's tons of great information. it's basically a book with prices in it.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, nobody mentioned it. It wasn't even a thought. But that was one that wasn't mentioned. Another one I just want to put, and some of the other stuff was mentioned, but another good resource is just other collectors, networking with other people who collect books, or even a mentor who has been a collector for a long, especially if you're a new collector. Yeah. You can learn a lot from other collectors. You know, we have a bunch of collectors in the area. Ryan's a collector, Bob, who's on the channel, Sam, Damien, a bunch of other people as well. We all share information. We all share whether, for the main part, we share like what we liked, you know, and turn each other on to other stories and stuff like that. So it really does go a long way. And so if you have someone else local that you can talk to or just talk about comics with, hit them up, man, because having another person on the team goes a long way. And when they're looking out for you, like this guy, he ordered a bunch of books one time, and like
a lot of different times.
Yeah, and one of them was kind of like a little bent a little bit, and I tried to do my best to flatten it out.
He tried to straighten it for me.
Tried to straighten it out for me, you know, because I felt kind of bad, you know, but I want to take care of my buddy.
Well,
so.
He's the one that probably bent it in the first place.
I didn't bend it.
Oh, come on.
You know it wasn't me. It was Diamond.
It was Diamond, yeah.
There you go.
It wasn't Diamond either.
There you go. Yeah, it was some other guy. Another thing that you can do, and I'm surprised about this one, and this one has actually worked. Ask your friends, your family, or neighbors if they have any comics. You will be surprised.
Lots of them do.
I think I have a box somewhere, and like most of the times, they'll just give them to you. Yeah. My neighbor gave me a box of comics. Yeah. You know, she's like, "Oh, you do comics? Oh, I think I have some." Yeah. And sure enough, first appearance of Lobo sitting right there. Sure, you can have them. I don't care. Yeah. But seriously, just ask people if they have any comics.
Yeah. Usually when people find out you're into comics, they're like, "Oh, I think I have some," or "My son had some," right? Well, as you get older, it's always "my son had some" or something.
Exactly.
Right? And then they usually give it to you if the kid or maybe their parents didn't want them anymore. But yeah, it's ask people. The worst I can say is no.
Just go start knocking on doors, man.
Yeah.
Hey, you got any comics?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our topic. Hopefully we helped you guys out a little bit. I don't know if we did. You know, Ryan tried. But you know what?
I'm no Bueller.
He's no Bueller.
I'm no Bob either.
He's DadBod. DadBodShenanigans.
DadBodShenanigans.
But I mean, you think we covered? Is there anything else you think we left out?
No, I mean, when you asked me to come on and you told me about the topic, I started thinking about some stuff, and these are pretty much all the things that I had thought about at home too. Okay. So yeah, I think these were all great comics.
Nice, and like you said, they translate pretty much well to the Funko world.
Yeah, it's almost straight across the board. It's amazing how many similarities there are as far as comics and Funkos. It's no difference than action figures too. People that collect action figures or statues, same thing.
You need to come back to the comics.
I still read comics,
man.
I can't afford the new comics, to buy them as much as I were. So then I try to save my money and just buy the older stuff.
Digital.
Yeah, digital are same price.
There you go. But let's go ahead and shift gears to our final five, brought to you by Comics Proline.
Sweet.
All right, Ryan. So we're gonna have you go first this time on the final five.
Obviously, you guys know this one, right? Very first appearance of Spider-Man. You can't. I mean, if you're not a fan of Spider-Man, he's one of the original superheroes.
You know,
right?
you asked me, okay, when you, because you have this real copy.
I do.
You have a 3.5, and you asked. He's like, I'm thinking about getting the first Spider-Man or Batman #1.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do. And I'm still trying to get a Batman #1.
I said buy Batman #1, didn't I? You didn't listen to me.
I'll get it one of these days.
There you go.
Yep.
That's cool.
Saving my pennies from not buying my weekly comics.
Whatever, dude. All right, what else you got?
Next one is Strange Academy #1. I know this is a real popular book right now, but it's actually a really good story. If you guys haven't actually read it, instead of just going by the hype and stuff like that that's on it, it's a really good story.
Yeah.
Great characters, great story line itself.
Yeah. I just picked up the third printing myself. So there you go. So
yeah.
I picked it up because of I've heard good things about it. So I didn't get it when it first came out.
So this I just happened to pop into the LCS and asked, hey, what do you recommend? This was another recommend book for me. So yeah, it's a great read. So you should pick it up.
Nice.
Next up, so my ultimate favorite superhero is Batman. So of course this is a reprint. This is not an original.
It looks like an original.
It does, right? And the reason for that is this is an Oreo cookie reprint. What's cool about these is like they came in the Oreo cookie packs, and imagine how much damage that book would have taken being shipped and packed and everything. And this one ended up coming out a 9.8 with white pages.
Nice.
So, and this is printed in the original newspaper. And
when did that come
out? This one came out in 84.
Wow,
so,
look at you.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite books. It hangs up on my wall. It's out of my whole collection. It might actually be my favorite book, even on top of all the higher end stuff I have. These only go for maybe $300.
Now, are you going to get Detective Comics number 1027?
I'll never be able to afford it. I'll never.
No, the new one coming out, because 1027 is coming out like next week.
Oh,
and that's the 1000th appearance of Batman in Detective Comics.
I probably won't.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I really, you know, what's funny is I really like the Tom King series. A lot of people hated that series. I really enjoyed the Tom King Batman. I did. I liked all the artwork. I liked
you
the
liked the
storyline.
Magnum PI on the beach one, didn't you?
Which one? I don't remember Magnum PI.
Never mind.
I remember that issue.
Yeah, you do.
I do remember.
Come on, man. That was your favorite.
No, but in general, I like this series.
All right.
I just grabbed this one because, you know, without Superman, there would be no superhero comics. Yep. You know, he's the one that started it all. So, and then...
So you guys know, Ryan is the guy who gave us the 2 Action Comics number 1s, these slabs that we gave away in our giveaways for, I think it was... our 2-year anniversary or something like that. So
I have a few of these.
He's got a bunch of these.
I have 400 of these.
Jesus, dude. Okay, we might have another giveaway.
Yeah, we might have another giveaway. So as far as like doing the speculator market and stuff like that, this wasn't a speculation book. This was a good deal, the right price at the right time type of good deal. I got these for like $2 because I used the coupon that had no limit, and it should have had a limit, and I bought every one they had in stock. They changed their coupon policy after my order.
There you go.
Anyway, I got this one because it's the homage to Action Comics. Nice. I just think it's really cool because of Marvel actually doing a DC cover homage. So anyway, those are my 5.
Very cool. Well, I don't have as neat as stuff as you right now, but I do have Graveland number 1. By Scout Comics.
I've read that. I have that.
I haven't read it.
I actually think I saw that book as I was flipping when he said bring some books. I think I saw that actually.
Is it good?
Yeah, it is.
Well, the only reason I'm showing it because you can go to scoutcomics.com and save 10% if you enter the code Bueller at checkout.
This guy.
There you go. The next one is Doomsday Clock number 1. This is the variant, the black and white one and stuff.
I have a lot of these as well.
I do too. God, what a horrible series. No, great
what are you
series.
talking about? Oh, yeah, it was horrible because it took like a year and a half or 6 issues to come out.
Came out it came out in like it came out in 2017 and ended in 2019.
You have to like reread all the other issues when one came out and be like, what is going on in this series?
Exactly. What are you gonna do? Then I got some older Iron Man number 191.
Nice. Wait, let me see this. I actually think I have this. Oh, never mind.
There you go. And
I have
number 192. I'm working on my Iron Man run. I'm pretty close to having the full 1 through 200 is my goal. So I'm missing like 20. So not bad. And then this one, have you read this one?
I've never seen that one.
Okay, this is Grendel, Kentucky. And this is a new book that came out this week. And I read it, and it's an interesting book. I'll tell you what it's about since you don't know anything.
Go for it.
It's about human sacrifice. It's about monsters that live in a cave. It's about the dankest weed in town. And all-female biker gangs.
This is not a book for me.
It's the perfect book. It's so good. Actually, I really did enjoy it. The artwork is kind of busy. That's kind of the word I'd use, but I liked it. But the story was good. I think it's a 5-part series from AWA. Have you tried any of the AWA books? They just started not too long ago. They're pretty good. Their books are not bad. But I enjoyed it. It's got some dank weed in it and stuff like that. So what are you going to do? Are you going to just take it?
I'm going to look at it.
All right. Sure. Really?
What? I can't
Are
look
you
at
looking
it?
for the dank weed?
No, I just want to look at the art. You said it's busy.
Okay, let's take a look at it. He's just taking over. Like he's been here for years.
Why not?
Looking at my books.
I've known you long enough to not care what you think.
That's true.
Yeah, I've seen this. It has general art. I don't know if it's busy art.
It's a little busy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
You want to borrow it?
Sure.
No. I'm not going to let you do it. Put it back. Be careful. I don't care.
Dude.
Okay.
Chuck this across the room in a
So
minute.
that was our final five. Let's go ahead and get to our giveaways. And I'll go ahead and just announce the winners from last week's giveaways. We had two. We had a giveaway of the She-Hulk giveaways. And for our Patreon members, our Patreon winner is Alex Finney is our winner for the She-Hulk ones. So congratulations, Alex. And for our regular viewers, and also our Patreon members can enter that as well, the winner is John Moran. You are the winner as well. So there you go. Just contact me. My information is down below. We will ship out all the winnings at the end of the month. For the people who won last month, your stuff is going out this week. I will contact you and send you tracking numbers so you can see exactly what's going on. But congratulations to Alex Finney, our Patreon winner, and to John Moran, our regular comments in the section and stuff like that. So
Nice. Congratulations,
more giveaways.
guys. That's awesome.
We have giveaways for this week, of course.
What are we getting?
Let me take a look. You can't enter.
I can't. I'm just gonna take it. It doesn't really matter. You
No.
gonna stop me?
No? Yeah, okay. So here we go. So we have two giveaways. Once again, we have one for our patrons and one for our regular viewers. Like I said, the patrons can enter as well. So this is Battle for Britain. This is from It's Alive. They sent us this quite a while ago.
Nice.
And this one is Spider-Man #1. And this is autographed by Rodriguez, which I believe is a co-creator of Spider-Man.
I flipped right past this one too. I almost
really?
brought- yeah, I almost
There
brought
you
it.
go.
I
Well,
love
this one's
Spider-Man.
autographed. So
I don't have an autographed one.
this one is for our Patreon members. So if you want to enter that, you just have to be a Patreon member to do that. So that's those. And then for our regular viewers, we obviously have the same thing, or we try to. We have Red Range Pirates of Fire World. This is also by It's Alive. And this one, Spider-Gwen Radioactive #1, also autographed by Rodriguez.
Nice.
And the Spider-Gwens are brought to you by Comic Proline. They're the ones kind of sponsoring our giveaways right now. And all you got to do is leave a comment down below on the video, and you are entered. And next week, we will tell you who wins, and we will have another giveaway for next week. So,
But you have more of these, right?
no.
What are you talking about?
You can't take them.
Why not?
Because those are
You
for the
said you're
winner.
going to give me books if I can on your show.
Not those books.
What?
Yeah, I got your strawberry shortcake
I told you I wasn't coming unless you gave me some free stuff.
No, this guy's lying. Give me back these books. I don't trust you at all. I'm putting them
You
back over
shouldn't.
here. Way over here. I'll put this one back up.
You going to give away my toilet paper I brought for you?
Oh yeah, he brought me toilet paper. Look at this.
I signed it too.
He signed it because I gave him toilet
You
paper one
did.
time.
You gave me toilet paper a long time ago when there was a shortage.
Yeah, but I gave it to you back when you needed it.
when I needed it. Yeah,
Now
the kids
there's
used
an
it. So
abundance
thank
of
you.
toilet paper. You're welcome.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, you know what? That's it. So let's kind of wrap things up. And I want to take a minute and spend some time with Ryan here and talk about DadBodShenanigans, because that's your channel.
Yeah, that's my channel.
And you used to do like key collector videos and
Yeah,
and
starting
CVSI top 10 videos.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they faded away.
Yeah, I
and
was
now
trying
you
to
just-
find what I wanted to do.
Yeah, now you just play with toys on
Yeah, I
camera.
just play with toys. It's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
It's true. It's not. Yeah. But yeah, so I do mystery boxes, a lot of Funko Pops, action figures.
You got a Funko Pop.
I
there, don't
do.
you?
I do have a Funko, and actually, I brought you one as well. Yeah, so I do a lot of mystery box Funkos and stuff like that, and so I brought him a mystery box Funko, and this is yours, and it's a Marvel themed one.
Okay.
So there should be a Marvel pop
So
in
is
there.
there a way I open this, or does it matter?
You know, I mean, yeah, you can just tear it open. If you have a scissor, something might make it easier for you. But yeah, just tear it open.
Let me see here. I'll go ahead and work on
And
this.
then, yeah.
And I'll show you other
And then
ones.
I brought one of my higher end pops that we're actually giving away on the channel. And this is a 480 piece limited edition that was released at San Diego Comic-Con. And just like comics, these pops have quite a bit of value to them. In fact, this one's worth about $1,000. So yeah, we're giving this away on the channel. So if you guys want to check it out, you have to be a Patreon member to enter this giveaway. But we do giveaways every Wednesday as well for Funko Pops and different stuff. So yeah, so what'd you get? Oh, look at that! An original Human Torch, man. That's cool. That's like that's based off his first appearance.
I can see Marvel Comics on the back.
Yeah. Do you know the history behind his first appearance in Marvel Comics?
No.
So his first appearance is in Marvel Comics #2
Okay.
because there was never a Marvel Comics #1.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah. So there was an original series that did so poorly they decided to change its name and then release him as the main character.
There you go. I got a Funko.
There you go. You got a Funko.
So do I take him out of the box?
Yeah, he's not. He's probably only worth like maybe $10 or $12. So
Cool.
yeah, you can just take him out of the box, put him on your
Because you
display.
can't really see him that well.
Do you want me to sign him? Yeah, I'm gonna sign him. Give it to me.
Sure.
I'm gonna sign it. You got
I'll
Sharpie?
give you a pin.
I'm gonna sign it right on his face because he's got no eyeballs.
There you go.
I talk about this pop. I pulled this pop on my channel and I was like, why doesn't he have any eyeballs? Yeah, eyeballs. A lot of these pops have eyeballs. Well, I guess the two I brought don't. Rorschach doesn't have any eyeballs.
Take the pin.
Jeez.
Go ahead.
I am. Oh, you already took the thing off.
I did. Oh,
Remember that comic you signed for me?
yeah, I do.
Do you still have it?
Do I have it?
Oh, I mean, I have it.
Yeah, you have it. Why would I have it?
I don't know. There you go.
That's awesome.
There. It's barely shows up.
That's okay.
Don't touch it.
I'm not
That'll
gonna
be
touch
worth
it.
like at least $3 or $4 in like a year or two.
Oh, the head bobbles.
Yeah, it's a bobblehead.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
most all Funkos are bobbleheads. Not all of them, but a lot of them are.
I watched the documentary.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
So there you go.
I
Yeah.
got a Funko Pop.
So that's
There
what
you
I
go,
do. Unbox stuff and play with toys all day.
That's what you do, all right. No, they're pretty cool, man. I mean, I haven't gotten into them myself, but I only, like I said, I only have 3.
Yeah.
Because they came in the 3-pack. I got the wrestling ones. They came together. The Toys R Us was shutting down. Got it for like $1. But there you go. That's my official.
Yeah, and they have tons of Marvel and DC characters and stuff like that. And it's just fun. They go along with a lot of the comic books,
Yeah.
right? So they do a lot of characters that are based strictly off certain issues too. Like you can find maybe that Punisher, right? That'll go just like it, right,
Very
in front
cool.
of your comic book. So it's nice.
So there you go. Funko and comics.
Yep. They both trend up and down all the time.
Do you have a preference?
So I enjoy both actually. I'm really into comics, Funko, action figures, and statues. It's just and I do stuff with the kids too. But
Nice.
that's the main thing. Just like everyone else, I like to collect.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate you autographing this.
Sure.
And actually, the very first autograph I ever did was for your son.
Yeah.
I remember.
We got you at a Comic-Con.
It was on a Funko Pop for some reason. What it was on?
it was on a Funko Pop. That's
it was on a
right.
box.
He still has it on his shelf, actually.
Yeah. That was the
Yeah.
very first time I
That
ever
was
signed something.
yeah, because we were at
And then later you had me sign something else.
Yeah. we were at the Portland convention
Yeah.
for the
Rose
Comic-Con.
City,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Rose City Comic-Con. And he had just bought that pop.
Mm-hmm.
And then he saw you, got all excited. And I'm like, yeah, he's a YouTuber. Oh, it blew his mind. And he ran over to you and he signed his pop. So, yeah, that was
I don't
awesome.
even remember what it was.
Yeah, and then I have you sign a book for me.
Yeah. Savage Dragon.
Yeah, Savage Dragon.
The dirty one.
The famous,
The dirty one.
yeah,
That was
Eric
good.
cover.
Good times.
Yeah.
Wasn't my niece with us when that was?
I don't know. I don't know. Was she? I don't think she was.
I don't remember. Somebody was with us.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's it. That's the show. You know, this is Ryan. Like I said, what's the name of the channel again?
DadBodShenanigans.
And it's a featured channel on my homepage. It's been there for a while. I want to say thank you, Ryan, for stepping up and
Thanks for
filling.
having me, man. This was awesome.
Yeah, filling Bob's shoes. You know, like I said,
No one can fill Bob's shoes.
Well, for today, you had to. So, but he's under the weather, but he'll be back next week and stuff like that. And you know, we got a lot of great people around here. So, you know, people came. I put out the Bueller signal, and this guy came running. So I
was
really,
happy to, man.
really
Thank
do
you.
appreciate it. And he's never invited me on his show, but that's okay. I don't want to play with toys with another
Make
dude.
fun of my toys all day.
I don't want to sit there and play with toys with another dude.
You can come play with more toys with me. We
don't
got
know.
action figures. We got a fight and everything.
There you go. All right, everybody, don't forget to leave a comment down below to be entered in the giveaway for this week. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. You guys know what to do. We'll see you next time.